Alright guys, welcome back. So we're going to have a look at the shrine this week, and right now I can tell you we're off to a pretty interesting start. The first perk on our list right now is Calm Spirits. It's a nice perk, don't get me wrong, we'll go into a little bit more detail soon. We have Third Seal, which is a Hag perk. By the way, Calm Spirits is a Jake perk, level 35. This is a level 30 Hag perk. This is a level 40 Dwight perk, and this is a Doctor perk, which I believe is level 35. So already I can tell you this is more of a survivor-sided survivor-sided shrine as opposed to a killer-sided shrine. Let's talk about Calm Spirits. What does Calm Spirits do? Calm Spirit allows you to make no cry of pain or sound when you are hit by the killer, alongside wildlife does not get set off, crows don't fly away, and that's 80, 90, and 100% in terms of Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. So Calm Spirits can be very useful if the killer has a perk called Flies from the Shadows. It's very rare to see run. It does have a cooldown in between it now. It just nullifies crows flying away. Also, that being said, I use crows to hunt. I don't even use Flies from the Shadows, but just seeing a crow fly away will reveal a general direction of which a player is in, and with enough tracking skill and practice, you'll be able to say, no scratches, he couldn't have walked far, and be able to track him, or he's less scratches in one direction, etc, etc. So Calm Spirits is cute. I'm going to also point out two more things. Calm Spirits counters the clown. You do not scream when you're in the gas bottle. So if you're unaware of the clown, when he hits you with a gas bottle, it stops your action of what you're doing. Or if you walk into the smoke of a clown bottle, you make a scream sound, your vision is blurred, you move at 15% slower, putting you on an 85% movement speed, providing you're not using hope. And you are hindered for, which is the movement penalty, for 2 seconds after you leave the smoke, or for however long you stay in the smoke. It generally lingers for about 4 seconds, so it can have a total of about 6 seconds on you. So keep that in mind, that you are being reduced your movement speed by 15%. The clown is 115%. Movement speed killer, essentially making clown 130% at a pallet loop. Getting the pallet for free, or getting a hit and the pallet as well, can be terrifying. On top of this as well, Calm Spirits also counters the Doctor. You know where after the Doctor changes to a shock mode, you scream after 6 seconds for Tier 1? Well, this counters it. You still do the scream animation, you still tear up in madness, but you do not scream. He doesn't get a visual indicator, he doesn't make any kind of sound. It can be very good to counter a Doc. Docs are very rare, and so are clowns, so it's kind of a situational perk, unless you know what you're versing. On top of what we're looking at too, another good thing to point out about Calm Spirits is it counters Infectious Fright. Infectious Fright is a new perk that just came out with the Plague. When you hit a survivor and down them with your M1, which is a mouse 1, not a chainsaw, which is a mouse 2, an M1, for example, a blink M1 on a nurse. Once you down a survivor, all survivors within the terror radius, which is 32 meters on a nurse, will scream, revealing their location for 6 seconds. Yes, this counters a scream. What does Calm Spirits not counter? It does not make you not cry. Iron Will makes you not cry. If you are in dying state on the ground, nor Iron Will or Calm Spirits will mute your cries on the ground. Killers will always be able to track you, as there are no perks as of this point in time in Dead by Daylight that force you to be quiet on the ground. Not even No Mither with the 50% quieter cries of pain. You will always make 100% noise while you are lying on the ground, and if he has Strider, you are making more than 100% noise. Gotta be careful when running Calm Spirits. How can you use it to your advantage? When a nurse blinks and hits you, she looks down during her fatigue time. When you are hit, normally your survivor cries, and it cries for about 1.5 to 2 seconds in a direction. So if you hit me, and I'm running to the right-hand side, and you're listening, you're going to be able to hear on your right side of your headphones, providing you have 6.1 surround sound, or you just be able to hear the general direction of where it's coming from. You hear Jake cry and run in one direction. With Calm Spirits, you're going to be able to run to one side and then sidestep to the other side while the nurse is looking down. Very situational, not very optimal, because you're not going to want to be hit by the nurse. You're better off running Iron Will and Dead Hard. That way you can block line of sight. Lightweight can help you out as well if you're playing on darker clothing, or maybe a smaller character such as Feng Min. Even running the bloody outfit on Meg. You could run Claudette. You could run not so much Jane, because Jane doesn't have many blending in clothes. Her blood doesn't cover a lot, so just one of those things. If we're going to be moving on to our next perk now, guys, this is called the Third Seal. Now, a lot of people don't understand what this perk does. When you hit a survivor for the first time, being a unique hit, it can be an M1, it can be a throwing axe, a hit on a survivor. It cannot be a trapper's trap. If you step in a trapper's trap, this does not activate. The hit must physically come from the killer. That either be a throwing axe, an M1, a blink M1, a legion stab, whatever it is. It must physically have come from the killer. A hag blink to the trap hit still comes from the hag. Okay, it blinds the survivor. What does blinding do? Blinding removes all aura reading abilities. Everything. Whether that be kindred, whether that be seeing a person on the hook. You still get the indication of where they are hooked, but then the aura will stop going on the body, so people can misinterpret how long they have to run there to save them before the 60 seconds of struggle. It's not a bad perk. I see a lot of people run it on Freddy Krueger. I see a lot of people slug with this build alongside running Deerstalker and the backup knockout just in case. It's good if you can get split pressure out on multiple targets at once. I'm not going to try and sell you and tell you it's the best totem perk. I mean, Devour Hope is very useful, but you wouldn't be running Devour Hope, for example, on a Huntress. It wouldn't benefit you a lot, as opposed to Third Seal would, but then you're forcing the fact that you don't have regression. You might be running Pop Goes a Weasel for regression, but you have to catch, and at a lot of jungle gyms, it can be really hard to catch against really good rank 1 survivors as the Huntress, so you're better off taking a safety blanket being ruined, because you're not going to take Horn of Ground, for example. I always recommend, if you are going to run a totem perk, run 1. Don't run more than 1. I mean, Thrill of the Hunt has its uses, don't get me wrong, but if I can't just recommend it. You're already sacrificing 1 perk. If you're sacrificing 2 perks on totems, then you're going to have Enduring or Brutal to speed up the game in your favor. You might have something to clutch the game. Some people run Noed. I prefer Make Your Choice, Save the Best for Last, and maybe on the odd occasion, Sloppy Butcher to clutch the game. It just depends on how you're looking at. Maybe even Infectious Fright is classified as a clutch right now. It's not a bad perk. I'm not going to tell you it's amazing. It can work really well on Freddy Krueger. It can work really well on people who can get the hit out from a range. In case you're wondering, if a Plague vomits on you an excruciating amount to put you into the Unbroken status, yes, it does count as a stack of Third Seal. Alongside it does stack as a stack of Save the Best for Last as well. Guys, we're going to move on to our next perk. So that is an okay killer perk. It's not bad. A lot of people will run it on Freddy as opposed to anyone else, though. They think it's a garbage perk, but don't be fooled. It's okay. It's decent. It has its uses. This perk is called Leader. Now let's talk a little bit about Leader. Leader is a decent perk in terms of it gives you your allies around you 15, 20, and 25% faster of anything except objective. Now, you might be thinking, well, that doesn't benefit me. You're absolutely right. An exit gate takes 20 seconds to open, taking 25% away from 20 seconds. That's simple math. It's going to take 15 seconds for your ally to open the exit gate near you. Now, unfortunately, it does not benefit you in terms of finances. It doesn't give you any more blood points. But what are some things Leader can be useful for? Your ally's going through a chest. All you have to do is walk within range and then walk out, and he has the benefit of 25% faster, whatever he's doing, apart from objectives, for 15 seconds. You don't have to stay in the bubble range, not like an AoE. You can walk into it and then walk out of it. It's decent. It works for hook savoing, not that you should really be savoing, it's very situational. Works for chest searching. Now, the biggest and most important one is it works for unhook saving, okay? So if I'm on the hook hanging and somebody comes to save me, it's about a 1.5-2 second animation to do the unhook save. With Leader, it's 25% quicker. They literally just go hurt and pull you off. It is so hard to time a hit if you were going for the grab on the guy. It can be really beneficial at hook saving. The only issue here is you need to be on the hook, and you shouldn't be trying to get on the hook. That is not what you're going for. On top of this, it can work well with being healed. Now, everybody knows it takes 32 seconds to self-care, 40 against Sloppy Butcher. If you use a med kit, it now takes 16 seconds. If somebody else is healing you, it takes 16 seconds. If you have Leader and somebody else is healing you, 25% off of 16, you're looking at taking, what is that, 4 seconds away or 3 seconds away. You're taking time right down to about 12 seconds. So now it's going to take him 12 seconds to heal you, providing he doesn't use a medkit. He's using a medkit, he's going to be even faster. He has botany knowledge, he's going to be even faster. He landing his great skill checks, he's going to be even faster. So it can be good to have an ally to heal you, to then do other things, but it does not help like Prove Thyself does in terms of working on objective, for faster objective. Doesn't benefit you in any points. I would love to see Leader give you some points of whatever the gentleman is doing. If he's going through a chest, you get, what is it, 600 points for a chest? You get 200. You get 150. I would like to see it give you some form of blood points. It'd be really nice, and it'd be brought into the equation a lot more and used, because it'll be allow allies to teamwork more, because it is a team-oriented game, even though using teamwork is very, very seldom in Dead by Daylight. Moving on to the next perk. It's shit. Okay, I like to give all perks a go in Dead by Daylight, but Overwhelming Presence is a bit of a dud. Now, why is it a bit of a dud? This means things need to be in your heartbeat. If I'm holding a toolbox and I'm out of your heartbeat, it doesn't affect. Much like Unnerving Presence, which makes skill checks up to 60% harder while you are in my heartbeat. If I am playing the Doctor with a 32-meter heartbeat, and then I put on Distressing for the 25%, I've got about a 40-meter heartbeat. I put on Calm and Calm add-ons, I'm looking at about a 52-meter heartbeat while I'm in shock mode, then it can be okay. Alright, it forces consumption rate of items by 80, 90, and 100%. So if somebody has a 6-second flashlight, no, you now have a 3-second flashlight. So instead of running Franklin's Demise against a mass group of flashlighters, I believe this would be a better option, because when you go to break a pallet and he goes to blind you, about 2 seconds to get a blind, that's 4 seconds off a generator. If he's running double battery, it's not going to bother him too much, but generally people go battery and intense halogen or something along those lines. Sometimes people don't even run anything because they think they've got enough time in it. You'll get blinded once or twice with the flashlight, and the flashlight's done for the entire game, as opposed to hitting it, having them drop it, and having them come back for it. Sometimes that can be good to bait them in, don't get me wrong, but time is very valuable in Dead by Daylight, and you want to go through your rotation. So it can be good, don't get me wrong, it can be really good if you know what map you're going to, such as the game, and your heartbeat pretty much takes up the entire board. If you're playing someone like Michael Myers with a 16-meter heartbeat, you're playing the Hag with a 16-meter heartbeat with Modern Abuse, bringing it down from 24 to 16. If you're playing like that, you don't want a heartbeat kind of beneficial perk. You'd be better off taking something more stealthy, get closer, get Discordance or Discordance so you can get closer to the generator when it's nearly done, then pop tier 3 and M1 them. You see, there's a lot of different plays. This is for more of a bigger heartbeat, but keep in mind, with a bigger heartbeat comes a harder tracking system. Gives the survivors more time to react, get in a locker, get around a corner. If you are going to be playing a big heartbeat doc, you should also consider running Iron Maiden to allow you to know when people come in and out of lockers, because they'll be doing that quite often against you as well. It could be a decent perk, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it has pros and it has cons. So guys, that's going to stop it for the Shrine this week. I'm comfortable to say, if you were going to buy anything off here, you need to look in terms of investing your money in more so Survivor-sided than Killer-side. This is a Dwight perk, but if you're going to be buying this, you're probably going to want Prove Thyself, so realistically, I'd recommend leveling Dwight up to 40, unlocking Prove Thyself, maybe Bond if you want situational awareness, which comes with time as well, and Leader, so I wouldn't really recommend buying this from the Shrine. Calm Spirits is 35 for Jake, which is fine, don't get me wrong. It's an okay perk. Savo's 40, and then 30 is Iron Will. So I would probably just level Jake up to 30 as well, and then there's extra 5 levels because Iron Will is a very powerful perk in the right hands. This is 30 again on the Hag, so these are really low levels in terms of unlocking. I would level up the Hag yet again because I'd want Devour Hope and Hex Ruin unlocked. So right now, if you were going to spend some of your shards, I would personally recommend you hold on to them unless you're investing them in something you've already unlocked for additional blood points. And Overwhelming Presence is very, very situational with Distressing, and you're going for a set build type, and that build type is generally on the Doctor, and it's a Doctor teachable, so why would you consider investing? Do you understand what I'm trying to say here? I would recommend just leveling the Doctor. So right now, looking at this entire week, guys, I can comfortably say perhaps it'd be a good week to save your shards and hope for some better RNG next week. That's going to be all for the Shrine.